pleasure to have with us newsmakers discussing the most relevant issues of the day. The past week brought concerns from Filipinos who feared of an impending declaration of martial law, which may lead to a constitutional crisis after President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was quoted asking Chief Justice Lourdes Sereno if she would rather have him declare martial law. Of course, one of our resource persons was quoted as saying the drug problem can make martial law a viable option. Official police records reported some 374 armed encounters where some 592 suspects have been killed. The scoreboard is indeed disturbing, with 159 of those killed having come from the National Capital Region. Central Luzon reported some 141 persons killed, followed by Bicol with 28, Cebu with 27, and Davao with 24 killed. How are things shaping up? We're looking forward to a candid discussion with our distinguished resource persons who made it despite the inclement weather. We're pleased to introduce our guests this morning. We have with us the spokesman of the President, Secretary Ernesto Ernie Abella. We also have with us the President of the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, which has 52,000 active members. Attorney Rosario Sechas Reyes, welcome. And a veteran of martial law herself, a human rights advocate, Attorney Rosario Cherito L. Planas with us. I just got word that Secretary Panelo is down with flu since Saturday. We can only hope he will recover. He said, I'll try to go to the office shortly before or after lunch. So that will be the latest from Secretary Panelo. But with the three resource persons with us today, we have more than enough. Sky?
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. And yes, I'm back. Magandang umaga, Sir Melo. And ngayong umaga, marami tayong i-discuss. Kasi I just came back from a 3-week World Youth Day event in Poland. Nag-cover po kami doon. And at the same time, kami po ay nag-side trip sa Italy. And marami pong mga Pilipino, mga OFWs natin doon nagtatanong, anong nangyayari sa Pilipinas? Bakit maraming kaming naririnig na executions, martial law ba? So napakaganda yung araw na ito para i-discuss po iyon. So magandang umaga po sa ating mga guests at sa ating mga media po na nandito.
Okay, we'll just open the floor with the few statements from our guests. Opening statements, and then we'll ask a few questions, then we'll open the floor to our colleagues from the media. Let's start with Secretary Abella. How is it today at the Palace? It seems to be very interesting. Maraming developments. Tell us, how do you like the job?
Well, if you ask me, I like it immensely. I love the job immensely. It's not exactly the easy, how people would say, people have described it as being a difficult job. But basically, the fact that President Duterte has described my job as being a conduit between him and the press and the people makes it somehow easier. The job, from where I'm coming from, is simply to understand him and try to communicate that.
Yeah. Paano po ninyo ini-interpret? Paano nyo inuunawa ang mga nagaganap sa Malacanang, especially with what the President said some days ago, na kung magkakaroon ng constitutional crisis, baka magkaroon ng deklarasyon ng batas militar. Medyo nakakakuryente yung ganong statement.
It has to be understood in context po, no? Una-una po kasi, basically we need to just go back to his story. Ano ba yung kwento? Kasi consistent naman po si Presidente sa kanyang kwento, no? Una-una, sabi niya gano'n, ang gusto talaga niya para sa bayan, sabi niya, what I promise you is a comfortable life. Tapos ang gusto rin niya para sa bayan is a peaceful nation. At ang gusto rin po talaga niya is magkaroon ng lasting peace, especially with the left and the other interested parties. So kumbaga po, in a sense, it's not difficult to understand it because consistent po yung kanyang narrative. Consistent yung narrative niya. Kaya lang po siguro nagkakaroon minsan ng mga quote-unquote misunderstandings. It's simply very, some people find what I will say may be difficult, but very complex po kasi yung yung kanyang kultura. He is both Cebuano and Mindanao, and then very complex po yung layers niya, yung kanyang mga kwentuhan. So for example, when he says something like magkaroon gusto ba ng martial, he doesn't mean he will. He's just simply he's asking. I mean, not even soliciting. It's a rhetorical question. Para bang, eto yung position ko, which would you rather have? Parang ganun po.
Thank you very much. How does the IBP look at it? Especially when President Duterte was quoted as saying na may mga hukom na di umano'y sangkot sa illegal drugs at binibigyan sila ng angkop na panahon upang sumuko. President Rosario Sanchez Reyes, please.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat, kay Secretary Abella, Madam Cherito Planas. Actually, ang IBP po ay nag-release ng statement tungkol po dyan sa apparently conflicting positions between the Chief Justice Sereno and the President. No? And if you will allow me, and for those who have not been able to get a copy of that statement, gusto ko lang pong basahin yung statement na yon para po maunawaan. But the focus of the statement of the IBP is more on the separation of powers. No?
Yes, please.
Opo. So, ang sinasabi namin ay sa totoo naman, ang administrative or disciplinary authority over judges or members of the judiciary under our Constitution exclusively belongs to the Supreme Court. So, nung sabihin po hindi ko po sigurado kung sinabi nga ni Presidente Duterte na sila ay sumurrender or sumuko sa police authorities. I've not read that kind of a statement, but the position of the IBP is that if there are complaints or evidences to prove that these judges are indeed involved in drug activities, then it should be forwarded to the Supreme Court so that the Supreme Court can perform its task of disciplining its own ranks. No? That's essentially the position of the IBP.
And I guess you will also share with our colleagues from the media copies of the statement.
Yes, we will do that.
Okay. Attorney Planas, how do you feel about what's going on today, being a human rights advocate that you've always been? Please.
Well, correctly, I'm not only an advocate, but I've been a victim of martial law. And when you ask if martial law should be declared, the answer is never again. Because under martial law, you're like a thing. You can be, anybody can just pick you up from your home and blindfold you and bring you anywhere you do not know where you will be brought. So,
Okay pa, sige pa.
So, yun po, for martial law, never again.
Never again.
That's it. That explains everything already.
You're a graduate of ABC, right?
Yes, Aguinaldo, Bonifacio, and Crown.
Including Panopio.
Including Panopio.
Ayan, okay. I followed your career.
Talaga, alam na alam mo eh.
And as far as you're concerned, wala ka naman nakikitang sintomas ng martial law under President Duterte.
Ayaw din niya. Wala kang ano. I feel that sincerely hindi rin niya gusto. So that being the case, we can say that he is whatever he says, he means it.
Yes,
Say
please.
something about that. Well, in the first place, clarify naman po ng Malacanang na wala namang intensyon ang presidente natin na mag-declare ng martial law.
Mukhang namamaligno ng martial law
Oo
yung
nga.
ating mikropono. Pakisuyo nga.
But just to under our 1987 Constitution, medyo very restrictive po ang power of the President to declare martial law.
Teka, sandali po, sandali po.
Hey,
With all due
sir.
respect, medyo ayusin muna natin. Sir, please join us from the business sector.
Hello. 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 Hello, hello. Yun.
Hindi na po ako nakasabi. So we'll have an idea of how the business sector looks and what's going on. Okay na kaya?
Okay.
Hello, hello, hello. Kapatid.
Hey, hey,
Ayan.
sound.
Hello, hello.
Hey, 1, 2.
1, 2.
Hey, sound.
Ayan.
Hey, hello, 1, 2. Sound check. Sound check, please.
All right, sound check.
Thank
One
you.
more time. Another one. Sky.
Hello, hello. Yun.
Hello.
Mic test.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. So you were saying something.
Yeah. Well, ang sabi ko nga kanina, Malacanang has already clarified that the President has no intentions of declaring martial law. No? But just to be clear on the power to declare martial law, under the 1987 Constitution, very restrictive po. No? In terms of the conditions, the duration, and the effects of martial law. Unlike, naipit. Kaya pala yung nagugutom. Oo. So, very restrictive po under the 1987 Constitution in terms of the conditions, the duration, and the effects of martial law. Number 1 po, ang condition lang to declare martial law is when there is actual rebellion or invasion. If you notice, tinanggal na po yung lawlessness, no, as a ground to declare martial law. Number 2, it can only be effective for 60 days, no? And number 3, it's always subject to the review of the courts. So, yun lang among other important restrictive conditions under the 1987 Constitution. And if you ask me, right now, wala pa pong basis to declare martial law.
So, yun po sinasabi ni Secretary Panelo, sayang natrangkaso siya at hindi nakadalo. Yung lawak ng pinsala at problemang dulot ng droga ay sapat na para magdeklara ng martial law. Hindi po kayo naniniwala ron. Hindi kayo sumasakay doon sa...
Maliwanag naman po yung ating konstitusyon.
Sandali po, sandali po. Maligno talaga.
Ayan.
Okay na kapatid?
Hello, yun.
Ang ganda na ng momento.
Okay. Nawawala-wala.
Nadadapa. Okay. Pwede na kapatid?
Sound. Hey.
Okay. So, hindi po ninyo...
Opo, limited na lang po to rebellion or invasion, and that it must be proven that there actually exists a rebellion or invasion in order for the power to declare martial law be availed of or exercised. No?
Not even an invasion from drug syndicates.
Ah, rebellion, napakaliwanag naman. Invasion, hindi po. Tingin ko po nasa level, kung pwede po nating tingnan yon sa level ng lawlessness, hindi pa rin ho yata because it's, the government is being able now to do something to curtail that. But not even lawlessness. May mga poder po ang presidente natin under the Constitution. Number one is to suspend the privilege of writ of habeas corpus, martial law, declare martial law, and to call upon the armed forces of the Philippines to assist in putting in order, if there is lawlessness and making sure that the public safety is amply protected or safeguarded. These are the very relevant powers of the President under the 1987 Constitution. Opo.
Okay. From the business side, we're joined by Mrs. Seri Ortiz Luis of PCCI. Kayo ba ay nagugulat sa dami ng mga addict? Ganun pala kalawak yung sindikato. Parang hindi yata rehistrado sa PCCI yung industriya ng droga. Ano po? Hindi kasama, no?
Sa totoo lang, nagugulat tayo lahat ngayon sa lumalabas na numero. No? Ako lang doon sa probinsya ko, hindi ako makapaniwala na ganun karaming addict. At may mga kilala pala ako na mga addict din na nakakagulat talaga. So actually, during the campaign period, sinasabi ni sinasabi ni President Duterte, yung 3 to 6 months na mawawala yan, palagay ko wala namang naniniwala . At ang sinasabi nila, yung sigurong mga bumoto sa kanya, sabi niya, anyway, anything near that is better than nothing. Ngayon, mukhang nakikita natin, mukhang mangyayari. Dahil sa buwan pa lang, malaki na pinagbago. So, sabi nga namin doon nagkukwento kami, nagbibiruan kami ron, pagka talagang nagkatotoo yan, talagang mamimili tayo. Ito bang nangyayari ngayon? Maraming collateral damage na nangyayari, maraming sumasakay, o gusto natin bumalik sa dati na matagal, o gusto natin talaga mawala sa 6 na buwan yan. Palagay ko, majority sa business sector, sabihin sa'yo, hayaan mo lang siguro yung wala kang magagawa kung talaga gusto matanggal, kaysa naman sa mapalalim tayo na mapalalim dyan, sugpuin na natin ngayon. May mga nagbibigay pa nga ng example doon. Kung ang Diyos, iniintindi collateral damage pag may purpose naalala ba nyo, kaya yung Noah's Ark. Huwag mo sabihin yung mga tao, yung mga pamilya lang ni Noah ang mahusay at sila lang ang nakaligtas. Noon kang sa Sodom and Gomorrah, mayroon 20 o 50 pinakikiusap, walang nangyari, naubos silang lahat. Pati nga yung asawa nahawat, lumingon lang. Nadamay. Doon ka sa Passover, yun kang mamamatay yung mga anak ng mga Egyptian. Yung mga, mga markahabo ng dugo ng tupa, yung yung mga hindi nakapagbarka, mga chosen people, na-disgrasya rin yung mga anak nila. So, ibig sabihin, ang Diyos, pwedeng mamili, iligtas yung mga collateral damage, pero hindi na niya inintindi yun. Si Digong pa kaya, hindi naman niya alam kung sino yung collateral damage. So, it's a choice. I think, kung tatanong ng mga business sector, sasabihin lang sa inyo, well, it's unfortunate, merong mga collateral damage yan, pero kung given a choice, siguro kung tatanggal talaga yung 6 months yan, it will be good for all of us.
All right, very good. Pero may pagdududa kasi, katulad ng kanina, pinag-uusapan yung martial law. Kayo ba sa business sector, nangamba man lang nun, nung sabihin, ano ba ika? Baka mas gusto niyo ba magdeklara ako ng martial?
Nung una kasi, pag nagsalita si President Duterte, lahat kami talagang todo. Pero ngayon, medyo nahuhuli na rin namin yung style eh. Meron siyang, you have to take some of his statement in relation to his personality and sabi nga yung hyperbole niya, yung ano, at saka yung emphasis niya. Pero I don't think he really intends to do that. Sinasabi naman niya, kung ayaw niyo sa akin, bababa ako, yung pa kayo magde-declare sa ng Marcelo.
Okay. Masaya itong topic na ito. Pero Secretary Abella, amid all this feedback, paano nyo kinukwento kay Presidente Duterte yung mga ganito? Do you get a chance to tell him what's going on? Anong pulso ng tao? O baka puro aleluya lang ang gusto ni Presidenteng marinig?
Hindi po, he's not that kind of a person. Pero it's not necessary that he gets the feedback from me. Ano po siya, he gets it from all over the place. Marami po siyang kausap at malawak po yung kanya, malawak po at malalim yung kanyang mga network, kumaga.
So wala kayong problema ron?
Patungkol sa alin po?
Pag bibigay ng info sa kanya?
Nakukuha naman po niya, naintindihan niya.
Nakukuha niya. Okay. Maganda ito sapagkat katulad niyan, yung pinakahuling bilang halos 600 na yung napapaslang. Yun po ba pwedeng suriin dahilan sa ala pa ako nababalitang pulis na nababaril at napapatay?
Meron po. In fact, meron po. Number of policemen have already been hurt. In fact, may napatay na rin po.
Okay.
Police po.
Opo.
So, although doon sa isang forum namin, na-explain kasi na paranoid ang addicts. Kaya at the first sign na mayroong posibleng manakit, pwedeng mamaril. Sad to say, yung paranoia hindi nakikita sa autopsy. Kaya yun ang isang problema ron. Okay. Sky, coming from the outside, you've been out for 3 weeks. Alam ko, marami kang tanong.
Kasi nga tinatanong din ng mga kababayan natin doon, ano nangyayari sa Pilipinas? Bakit merong two sides yung nangyayari doon eh. Merong nagtatanong bakit may namamatay, bakit may pinapatay. At yung pangalawa naman, parang mabuti nga sa kanila na namamatay na sila. With regards to our president, ano po ang ginagawa niya dito? Kasi wala naman pong aminan na nangyayari, sir, no? So, ano po ang kanyang komento dito on the executions na nangyayari?
Siguro, I think we need to back up a little and look at it from a more objective point of view. No? Let's look at the bigger picture. Kasi po talaga, if he uses the terms war on drugs, for example, kasi po, kung titingnan po kasi talaga natin, very, very unique din po kasi yung drug situation sa Pilipinas. For example, in other areas, they talk about drugs, they talk about marijuana and cocaine. But dito po sa atin kasi, we talk about meth. You know, it's a very, very shabu. Shabu. Anyway, ang ano po, kung iisipin po kasi niyo, kung titingnan po niyo, the estimates of those affected are anywhere between 1 million to, according to Al Jazeera, 7 to 10 million are addicted and using meth in the Philippines. Very specific to the Philippines. So ang attitude po talaga ng presidente, if I may put it, couch it in terms. Kasi sinasabi ng iba na talo naman talagang war on drugs, war on drugs doesn't work. Pero what has happened, especially in other countries, ang ginawa, ina-accommodate na nila yung drugs. Kumbaga, ang ina-emphasize nila yung reduction of demand. Pero what the president is emphasizing is actually reducing the availability of the supply. So kung mga sinasabi niya, kailangan talaga, he wants to destroy the apparatus that supplies. So yun po, that's where he's coming from. So kumbaga yung if we have to look at it po, ang putos po talaga ng presidente is that the source must be cut off.
And how far have you gone in identifying the sources of these illegal drugs?
Actually, according to the matrix that has been provided for, a large part of it, kasi madaling gawin ng dito. In fact, part of the source has been the prisons. But mostly, a lot of it has been coming from the outside. Again and again, sinasabi po niya yan. It's coming from the outside.
Any country in particular?
Well, let's put it this way. It comes from the outside.
The outside. So it could be any country around the Philippines.
Near the Philippines, yes.
Yeah, okay. Sky?
Yun nga po eh. Tsaka at the same time, natawag nga din po yung probinsya namin na anong tawag doon?
Shabulais.
Shabulais
Ah,
province.
Iloilo, ah.
Taga doon po ako eh. Kaya po ako nagulat. So, aside from that po, ma'am, with all these things that are happening, ma'am Charito, ano po ang masasabi po natin sa mga nangyayari ngayon?
Alam niyo ang aking pong formula is always positive. And so ang ginawa ko po, nag-organize po ako ng family na binigyan ko ng lakas ang pamilya. At yung pamilyang yan, may family games po ako. At ang family games nila, luksong tinik, kapatintero.
Oh, hindi Pokemon Go, ha?
Oo.
Hindi Pokemon Go. Okay, so back to the basics.
Yes, basic.
Okay.
The only answer is basic. But I congratulate our president na tumatanggap siya ng suggestions. At hindi sarado ang kanyang mga mata.
Yeah.
Nakabukas ang kanyang mga mata na tinatanggap niya. At dahil dyan, ay being positive thinker, the future is nice.
All right.
Kaya doon po sa ako, I manage a rehabilitation. At ang aking ang ganda ng kinabukasan.
Okay.
Always like that. Ang ganda ng kinabukasan. Kapamilya. A family that prays together stays together.
Yeah, but I guess it will also be good for the government to find
Yes.
out yung profile ng mga drug dependents. Where have they all come from? Are their parents abroad working? You know, because this could be a manifestation of a dysfunctional Filipino family.
Actually, it's a very complex thing again, ano? It has affected the drug situation has affected every sector of society, and it's already nasa rural na to eh. Nasa ano po sa probinsya na. But anyway, just wanted to go back po. Just may nabanggit po si Imam Planas na ano kapatid na about rehabs, and ayokong pangunahan pero the war on drugs is not just a question of stopping the sources but also providing for the rehabilitation of those who have been who have surrendered themselves. So meron pong napakagandang responses ang gobyerno dyan, and in a few days, not too long from now, there'll be some form of announcement regarding it.
Thank you very much. I'd like to remind our colleagues there is only one forum in this room. Thank you very much. We'll open the floor to our friends from the media who may have questions for our guests.
Hey.
Please identify yourself and the entity you come from and proceed with the question. No privileged speeches. You may be entitled to a follow-up. Please. Please come over. Identify yourself. Ladies first, Estong.
Good morning, sir. I'm Hannah Sancho of Sunshine TV. Sir, I have two questions. First po, DDB, in-approve po nila, I think 2 weeks ago, na maliban po sa pagbigay ng financial incentive doon sa mga informants on drugs, bibigyan din po ng financial incentive yung mga drug enforcer. Kayo po ba in favor po kayo dito na bigyan ng reward, financial reward itong mga drug enforcers like PDEA, PNP, na baka abusuhin daw yung matatanggap nilang pera at baka mag-focus na lang po sila sa reward instead doon sa war on drugs.
I would like to react. Sabi ko nga, ang reaction ko is family that stays together, live together. So we focus on the family, and I did this by organizing games that families play games, and when they play games, laughter is there.
Of course.
Nothing, walang kisihan. Bawal ang kisihan.
Saka communications between
At
parents and children.
Parents and children.
That is the primordial
And not
concern.
only of one family, but all families together.
Okay. All right.
So, yun po lang, period na. At ayoko nang maano pa, pero wala tayong pupuntahan kung
Okay.
ano na.
Yeah,
Yun na
thank you
lang.
very much. What about
Thank
the
you.
reward? The concern about the reward. Baka abusuin yung reward.
I don't have any comments on that. Maybe the best persons to respond to that are from the civil sector.
Well, siguro dahil may campaign siya, 3 to 6 months, hindi po pwedeng half-cock. Ano, ibig sabihin, bigay mo lahat yung itodo mo lahat. Hindi lang yun. Ito sinasabi pa niya, pati yung mga enforcer na nakapatay, I will stand behind you basta wala kang kasalanan. Ididipesa ko kayo. Pagka hindi ganun kasi, alam mo naman, ang mga enforcer natin ngayon, mahihain At saka kung hindi personal, ayaw na makialam. Ano? Talagang itutulak mo na talagang aggressively. Ano? Kung hindi, walang ganyang maraming susurrender, walang ganyang maraming huhulihin. Hindi po pwede yung, gumagawa ka na dito nakataya yung talagang promise mo at yung gusto mong gawin. Hindi po pwedeng bakla. Kailangan talagang all the way.
Teka muna, baka sumabit na naman tayo dyan. May baklang binanggit Baka,
Oo nga,
baka kung saan na naman tayo
baka
makarating
biglang
yan.
Hindi na pwedeng halfway.
okay.
Yun ang ibig sabihin. Yun ang
Straight po
context.
dapat, on the
Okay.
Huwag natin
all the way.
All the way. Yes.
Sir, last question for Secretary Abella. Last Saturday, sinabi po ni former DILG Secretary Aluna, nagkaroon po ng agreement during the Ramos administration sa Ilocos Marcos. At sinabi pa po niya na sa archives po ng Malacanang yung agreement na yon. So, hindi po ba magkakaroon ng conflict yun now that the Duterte administration wants the remains of President Marcos na yun nga po mailibing po sa libingan ng mga bayani?
I believe that was the position of Secretary Lunan, and then also the President has also placed his position. But as kapatid na Charito po said, nakikinig naman siya. So kung ano po yung magiging actual legal susunod naman. I mean, he will also abide by what is necessary.
Pwede ba niyang i-cancel yun, sir, yung agreement since sa executive department lang naman
That
po
will be
yun?
his prerogative kung ano man po.
Alright.
So, wag na natin anuhin pa yung libing niya. Kasi marami siyang nailabas na kayamanan ng bayan na nakadeposito sa Switzerland. At hanggang ngayon ay hindi pa natin nakukuha. Even si Sharon Ganon, yung PCGG, hindi din siya nag-succeed. Kaya, ang kailangan na lang natin talaga is straightforward na bakit sa ililibing na bayani kung meron pa siyang pagka na hindi na ibabalik.
Okay.
That's all. Oo.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Hello. Ernie Reyes po sa Interaction.com ng TV5. Ang tanong ko lang kay Secretary Abella, marami na pong mahigit 800 na daw ata o 600 yung extra. Hello, yan. Mahigit, latest count, mahigit 600 na yung according to Senator Lacson, 600 na yung EJK. Ano yung ginagawa ng administrasyon para imbestigahan itong? Kasi, may sinasabi na yung extrajudicial killing may connection dun sa network. Pinapatay yung mga pusher para hindi ma-identify yung supplier na at protector. So, may notion na yung pumapatay yun ang protector. So, ano po yung ginagawa ng administration regarding this? Kasi hindi lang naman kaming sa media ang na-alarm, pati international community. Na front page na nga tayo sa New York Times and other international paper. even yung mga international organization, kinakalampag na tayo. So, are we not aware that we are violating human rights?
From the very beginning po, the President has been aware of the situation. And in fact, if you will notice, yung NAPOLCOM head, the DILG chief, has already directed the PNP head to make sure that the investigations are done. But at that level, kung saan po nangyayari, doon po sila imbestigahan. So it's being addressed. And hindi po tayo bulag sa mga ganun sitwasyon. Salamat po.
So, may mga resulta na po ba?
It's ongoing po. It's ongoing. We only in the how many day, right? Yeah.
So, ano po yung position ni President Duterte dito?
Like I said, he does not condone extrajudicial killings. Malinaw po na sinasabi. Wala pong
Secretary,
gumusa.
hindi po ba ang police at ang armed forces merong counterintelligence units?
Opo.
Will they also be utilized to find out if there may be something, some credence to what my colleague was asking?
Well, I'm sure it's all in operation. It's all in operation. But ang tanong po kasi kung may ginagawa ba tayo, and definitely may ginagawa po. Again, let me just say that the NAPOLCOM head, the DILG chief, has already directed the PNP chief to please investigate those situations on that level. Yun po.
Kay Mr. Ortiz, hindi ba nababahala yung business community sa ganitong mga pangyayari? Kasi everybody else is napaka-alarming na.
Well, sabi nga sa'yo, a business community is probably looking at it in a broader sense, no? Mapura lang siguro kung meron kang kamag-anak na involved, no? Pero ang inaano namin meron choice. Gusto mo matapos yan o hindi? Alin ba ang priority mo ngayon? Imbestigahin ito mga o tuloy-tuloy mo yung programa mo? Wag lang sasabihin na kinukundon. Okay sa amin yun. Wag lang yon. Pero kung iimbestigahin, nandun din kami, dapat imbestigahin. Pero maalala mo, nung araw, nung naglililis sa station na, siguro panood mo untouchables. Pag nagbabanatan yung mga ibang ini-encourage na gobyerno, pataya kayo, sige, kayo lahat yan, sila, kayo mga, ganun din na nangyayari. Mga drug pusher, enforcer, saka yung mga under the payola ng sila nagpapatayan. Uunahin pa ba namang oksayahan ng panahon yung pag-iimbestiga ro kasi sa ituloy mo itong programa mo para sabi sa business, kung seryoso ka, unahin mo yung programa mo on the side, kung maaasikaso mo, asikasuhin mo yung investigasyon. Pero marami rin talaga. Palagay ko, sila rin yung nagpapatayan.
Pero hindi po nakakapekto sa business community.
Wala. As a matter of fact, yung sinasabi nila na may mga nagpuprotesta sa abroad, sa katunayan, lahat halos sila may problema sa Europe, may problema sila riyan, may problema sila sa States. Nakita mo naman na nangyayari. Kaya ang effect ko na sa investor niyan, okay na sa Pilipinas, naglililis na sila ngayon. Hindi magiging parang Mexico yan, hindi magiging parang yan. So, matatapos yan. So, they look at it positively. As a matter of fact, yung mga maiingay na riyan, hindi nga namin maintindihan Marami pa rin yung mga pinipinas sa mga organization sa Europe na hindi mo maintindihan kung saan nanggagaling yung pinasing.
Pero napuna po ba ninyo na lumakas ang benta ng 3-in-1 na kape? Dahil yun ang sineserve sa lamay.
Hindi, basta yung isang kaibigan ko na may-ari ng sesto, natutuwa siguro. Dahil yung inumin sa patay.
Tsaka biskwit. Emperador tsaka biskwit, malakas.
Okay. All right. More questions from the floor? Yes, please.
Tracy Cabrera po sa tao. Bago magtanong, natutuwa lang ako kay Presidente dahil hindi siya naive at hindi siya hipokrito. Marami sa atin ang naive. Kagaya ni Mr. Ortiz, sabi niya, nagulat daw siya na marami dong addict sa lugar niya. Well, I don't know where he came from. Kasi talagang talamak yung droga Kung hindi mo nakikita, ewan ko sa'yo, mukhang bulag ka. Now, ang tanong ko po, kailan po natin tatapusin yung pagiging naive natin at hipokrito? We are Sunday Christians. We go to Mass, then we become devils the rest of the day, the rest of the week. Mabuti lang tayo pag nandun sa loob ng simbahan.
Hindi ka sigurado. May mandurukot nga sa loob ng
Oh,
simbahan.
yun na nga eh. So,
Huwag ka
I'm
siguro.
happy na ang presidente nakafocus.
Pare mismo nag-aanak.
Gaya ng, ang
Easy.
tanong ko lang po dun sa martial law na sinasabi. So, let me go to my question. Sabi ni Ma'am Planas, never again ang martial law. Bakit po nasa constitution ng martial law kung masama yan? Ang sa akin, ang take nyo lang ho, ang nagpapatupad ng martial law ang masama, hindi yung martial law per se. If it's necessary, it has to be in place. Yun lang po.
I disagree with that observation.
Please,
Kasi
go ahead.
under martial law, anybody can pick you up. That's the meaning. So, kaya nga, ang anuhin na natin, never again martial law.
It
Never
is
again.
approved in
Period.
the Constitution because of two situations.
Situations. Pero kung sasabihin na natin na walang martial law, ay walang bibigyan ng dahilan yung gustong mga ano.
Okay. Yeah. Attorney, please.
Hindi naman po sa ipinagtatanggol ko yung martial law. Tama po ang observation nila na kung masama ang martial law, bakit nasa Constitution? Well, essentially, it's because the government has the right to protect itself.
Yes.
Kaya lang, ang sabi ko nga, under the 1987 Constitution, may mga pagbabago kaysa nung dati, no? Because even if you declare martial law, for example, it doesn't mean that the suspension, that the writ of habeas corpus is automatically suspended. No, it's still there until and unless, again, the President will ask for the suspension of the writ of habeas corpus. Number two, the courts will still continue to function, no? And number three, yung supremacy of the civil authorities will still be observed even under martial law.
Yeah.
So ito po yung mga maliwanag na prinsipyo na nakalagay po sa ating 1987 Constitution. So maaari pong ang pag-i-implement nun ay magbabago, depende kung sino yung mag-declare ng martial law. But palagi ko po sapat ang safeguards under our Constitution to make sure na hindi po ma-abuse yung declaration of martial law.
Yeah.
Ang sinasabi ko nga po, subject pa rin ito to the review of the courts. In fact, any citizen or any taxpayer can file a complaint before the court to question the factual basis for the declaration of the martial law.
Okay,
Very
Attorney,
clear.
let me follow it up with a question. It has to be reviewed by the legislature, right?
Yes.
It has to be reviewed.
Yes. In fact, within 48 hours, if my recollection is correct, the President has to report to Congress yung 48 hours from declaration of martial law. And then within a period, that is only good for a period of 60 days. If the President wants to extend that 60-day period, it has to be approved by Congress.
Yes, but some people are of the interpretation that with the supermajority that the administration has at both houses of the Senate and the House of Representatives, it is in fact a stamped legislature.
I think this is more of an aberration rather than a rule, no? Because the assumption always of the framers of our Constitution is that everybody will be reasonable, no? So kung that is one of the dangers, and then therefore we have to, may tao pa, nandito pa naman po ang mga Pilipino. Di ba? There is the court to question, to rule on the validity of the basis or ground for the declaration of martial law. I said earlier, there must be an actual rebellion or invasion. It cannot be based on assumptions or suspicions or whatever.
Yeah.
There has to be actual
Okay.
rebellion or invasion.
Thank you very much. How I wish Secretary Panelo was here with us, but he's sick. Oh, sayang, may sakit si Secretary Panelo. Yes, please.
Magandang umaga po. Ako po ay si Linggoy Alcuas, kolumnista ng Opinion, na ngayon po ay may Opinion Mindanao na po. Ang tanong ko po, attorney, noong panahon ni
Dalawang
GMA,
attorney narito. Attorney Charito Planas and Attorney Seches Reyes.
sa IBP po.
Sa IBP.
Okay. Kasi panahon po ni GMA, nagdeklara po siya ng martial law sa Maguindanao. So ano yung ba ay may legal basis o yung ba ay labas sa 1987 Constitution?
Hindi ko na po maalaala kung ano yung nangyari when GMA declared that partial, no?
It was after the Maguindanao so-called massacre.
Lawlessness lang po yun. So I think there's really no, sabi ko nga po, actual rebellion or invasion. Wala na po yung ground on lawlessness, no? Tinanggal na po yun under the 1987 Constitution. That was in the 1973 Constitution, but not anymore in the 1987 Constitution.
Yeah, we have Attorney Planas who was once a spokesperson of President GMA, right?
Yes, I was a deputy secretary and her spokesperson. And I told her I will speak for you, not to depend anyone, but I said I'll speak about your being a true Christian.
Okay.
That you have saved hundreds of lives. Like, for example, those who were working in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
When you work, you need a work permit. And that is given by where you were going to work.
Yeah.
And if you are going to leave, you have to have a leave also allowed. Marami po hindi nabigyan 300 families, 50 families, nagugutom na po sa ilalim ng tulay.
Yeah. So, what's your recollection of that Maguindanao thing?
So ang ginawa po ni yung Maguindanao yon, yung nangyari lang doon sa isang small area lang yon ng
It was a limited declaration.
Limited declaration.
Okay, thank you. Yes, please.
Si Secretary Abella. Dahil kayo po ay spokesman ni Pangulong Duterte, no? Siguro umuupo kayo kasama nung iba kagaya ni Secretary Andanar, ni Secretary Panelo, at susuri kayo tungkol sa mga pag-handle ni President Duterte ng kanyang mga public statements, no? Hindi ba po yung pagmumura niya mas attractive sa Pilipino kaysa sa isang leader na hindi nagmumura? Di ba ho? Kasi na-experience ko yan Noong nagmumura ako, naging mas popular ako sa maliit na constituency, no? Pero sa constituency ng international community, anong tingin nyo? Mabuti ba yung pagmumura o hindi?
Wala po ako opinion dyan. I don't have any voice. I withhold comments. I'm just a conduit of what he says.
Thank you, thank you.
Next question, please.
Good morning po. Greg Gregorio po from IBC 13. Mr. Secretary, how does the President react po dun sa gathering ng mga Pilipino kahapon sa Luneta? And may nagsasabi na meron din daw po sa Cebu against the burial of former President Marcos po.
I don't know about his actual reactions, but I think he anticipated it when he says he allows protests. You know, in fact, he actually supported. Sabi nga, wala nga siyang pinadalang just traffic management. Wala pong nag-manage ng crowd. So basically, he's a very inclusive president. Based nga sa kanyang kabinete, it's a rainbow cabinet, right? From left to right. So he allows for discussion.
To Attorney Planas po. Ma'am, sinabi po ninyo kayo po ay victim ng martial law po.
Many times, in isolation pa, 2 by 2 meter. Ang pagkain ko, isda na may bituka at may kaliskis.
Attorney, do you support this kind of activity po na sila din po ay mismong nagsasabi na never again? Do you support this kind of activity?
No, I congratulate them. That means that their minds are open. That if you need to be never again, then you adapt never again. In other words, sila mismo, they wanted to stop yung mga abuso.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
More questions?
Or gentlemen sa Malacanang po, sir. Ako po ay lumaki sa kalsada. Nakita ko po yung simula ng Shabu hanggang pagdating na Duterte. Ito po tanong ko. Ngayon po napansin ko, yung mga pulis na ngayon nagmamadali para pakita kay President Digong na tukoy nila lahat ng tao. Yung mga tao na yun, yung iba retire na, yun yung nag-amas ng money out of drugs. Meron ho ba tayong plano o habulin yung mga retired? Okay po yung naming generals, siguro po may basis yun. Pero what about yung lower ranks na talaga po sila ang responsable? Mga bata nila with the drug lord, kinakalat. Ngayon po pinapatay na nila yung mga yon. Yun po malungkot I'm speaking as ikagawad doon sa Sampaloc. Ganito po yung sentimiento ng mga magulang. Ang sabi po, bakit ganun?
Hello.
Kinukuhanan ho ng weekly. Tapos yun the very people na pinapatay ngayon, no? Yung mga seller nila. Bakit ho ganun? Ano ho ba ang hustisya kung sa retired at saka hanggang ngayon, yung iba pa-retire na rin, no? I'm naming particularly the ninja group. Yung malaking ninja dyan sa kumalat na nga sa Pilipinas.
Well, basically, if you're asking kung may plano ba, I'm sure that's part of, I'm sure the President is aware. Kaya lang po, ang hinaharap niya ngayon yung what is right now. So, tama ho ba yun? So, ganun po. So, let's just trust the process. Let's trust that the President understands and that he will go through with the entire process. Sir, your guess is as good as mine, you know.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Good morning. I'm Celerina Monte from Manila Shimbun. To Mr. Ortiz Luis, sir, you have mentioned that right now you're saying that what has been happening is parang it's positive for the business community. At what point do you think that the business community would say, oh, it's already alarming?
I do not know, but I think before dumating tayo ron, baka wala ng drugs. I mean, if after 6 months, tuloy-tuloy yan, pero biglang bumabalik, then we will be worried na sayang, walang kinahidat itong programa na to, that everybody's looking at it positively, pero wala naman pala nangyayari. Pero the way I look at it, talagang pagka hindi natin nilagyan ng mga balakid, mukhang in 6 months na, mawawala itong mga suppliers, mawawala yung mga customers muna mawawala yung suppliers, mawawala yung mga wholesalers. Siguro kaya nagdireklamong tayo na bakit pala yung maliliit yung nahuhuli, siguro uunahin mo talaga muna yung market bago ka makarating dun sa mga talagang malalaki. Total, meron namang malalaking pumapasok yung mga general, yung mga politiko, eventually, I think, siguro ang hula ko, mga 2 months pa lang yun baka wala ka nang mabili. Siguro 2 months, baka wala nang maglalakas loob, magpasok dito. May nagbibiruan nga, may mga baratilyo ng araw ngayon. Meron pa nga isa, hindi ba, iniwanan na lang doon sa taxi yung dala niya, hindi siguro mga-dispatch siya. Sumakay sa taxi, iniwanan na lang doon
Sir, I'm just curious, sa business community, hindi ba infected ng illegal drugs? Parang...
ako, nagbibiro ako, tinitingnan ko yun. Baka ikaw, pero ang ano namin doon, ikaw susunod, yung mga addict sa golf, yun siguro marami. Addict sa golf. Baka yan na ipagbawal, ako may problema.
To Secretary Abella, sir, you have mentioned that the President is ready to listen. So right now, there were already calls for the President nga to not to allow the burial of Mr. Marcos sa libingan ng mga bayani. Yung bang call ng mga Filipinos, yung some Filipinos, hindi siya enough or kailangan na merong decision ng Supreme Court like TRO or totally banning the burial of the former president there, the libingan?
As a lawyer, the Supreme Court will not act unless a case is filed in the Supreme Court.
So yung kay Secretary Abella, andin yung point na sinasabi niyo that the president is ready to listen?
Yes, we're listening.
Correct. Yeah. Sige po.
The president, before he was not, but this time, I told you I am an anti-Duterte. But then, I always look at it in justly, and I see that he's listening.
So, Sir Secretary,
I feel, and not only see, I feel he's listening.
So, Sir Secretary Abella, so pag meron ng nag-file sa Supreme Court and when the Supreme Court rules, dun lang makikinig ang Pangulo?
Well,
Hindi, everybody, because that is already a law.
Okay.
The decision of the Supreme Court is a law.
Yeah, Secretary Abella, please. Gusto lang marinig for record purposes.
Kay Secretary Abella, since he's the spokesman of the President.
well, basically, let's put it this way. I cannot give you the specific timeline, but he will respond at the right time. He will respond at the right time. Nakikinig naman po siya.
Sir, as of last week, wala pang date kung kailan yung supposedly libing. So, meron na ba right now may coordination
Wala
na
pong
bang
specific
mangyayari?
dates. Wala pong specific dates.
Kasi I'm wondering, baka mamaya mauna yung libing bago magkaroon, for instance, ng decision ng Supreme Court if somebody would file.
Nangyayari hanggang filed ang case and the Supreme Court decides. Wala.
We'll find out kung may nag-file na a bit later. All right. Next.
Sir, last na lang po for my yung sabi kasi ni Ramos po, may suggestion po siya na parang magkaroon ng referendum, yung taong bayan na mag-decide na lang kung dapat mang ilibing sa libingan ng mga bayanin si former President Marcos. Pero instead of instead yung masa po, not the surveys, hindi daw ganon, yung representatives daw po ng taong bayan, which is yung mga congressmen at yung senators. So, payag po ba kayo, is the President open na idaan sa Kongreso ang desisyon kung dapat po bang ilibing si
I don't think it
Marcos?
starts with the president. It starts with whoever takes the
A case will never start from Congress. It's always the court, and this is the Supreme Court.
Yeah. But anyway, during the past administrations, whenever the president would like to decide, tinatawag yung LEDAC. Ito yung pagsasama ng mga mambabatas at ng executive at pinag-uusapan po yung issue. Do you see a LEDAC meeting coming because of this impasse, if you may?
Well, there's no talk about that at this stage.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Melo, since we are celebrating our 6th anniversary next week, may I make a comment? Maiksi lang.
Sige nga, may magtatanong pa. Oh,
Ganito po. Nalalagas na yung membership ng 365 Club. Kaya meron mga may gusto rin magdeklara na martial law para madagdagan.
Madagdagan yung members ng 365. Pil yung bata. Next question.
Good morning po. I'm Ellen Cruz of Tokyo Shimbun. Sir, last week the U.S. Embassy, Secretary Abella, last week the U.S. Embassy said something about the gay remarks of the President, and then the same statement mentioned the 32 million aid that was mentioned during the meeting with Secretary Kerry. And it seems the statement is telling that it's tied up with the concern of the U.S. with human rights, with the abiding on about human rights, human rights, rule of law. So how is the palace responding to this? Because this is U.S., our main ally, and it's a major concern.
Yeah, the president has already made a strong statement, in fact, that the Philippine-U.S. relationships remain solid. So let's take it at that.
Pero let me ask the good secretary and Attorney Rosario Sanchez-Reyes. This has something to do with the alleged shame campaign of the propensity of the president to name people said to be involved in illegal drugs. Is this all right?
Are you asking me?
Kayo po muna.
Considering po the magnitude, no, and in fact, again and again, the President has said, it's basically a warning. He's exercising his, I think, the doctrine of parens patriae. That's what he, na, kung siya po yung magulang ng bayan, he's making a call. He's making a call and he's warning. And considering napakalawak po kasi at napakalalim nung situation, so ano po niya is that hindi po pwede maisa-isa yung proseso, kundi kumbaga, tulad nung po sabi niya, tulad nung mga judges, sabi niya, you report to your own, nilinaw naman niya. It is basically a warning and a call na may, sabi nga, it's, for example, the example that people use is, there's a fire in the house. So dapat isigaw, may sunog.
Okay.
Opo.
Mula po sa pananaw ng IBP.
Opo, natanong na po kami tungkol dyan. Tama naman po yun, na dapat agresibo tayo sa pag-address ng problema natin sa droga. But noong po lumabas yung listahan na yun, it appears that this list was not even diligently or prudently validated. So may problema po kami doon because when you in this yung parang name or shaming campaign being done by the present administration, you're putting actually the cart before the horse, no? So, dapat po nun, ang proseso po ay dapat kung may ebidensya, file ng kaso, and then once the cases are filed in court, then you can already release their names in the tri-media. So, ang sinasabi po namin dito, because the list appears to have not been validated, immediately there is a disregard in the constitutional human rights safeguards against on presumption of innocence, the right to be heard, the right to be informed of the charges against you, to face your witnesses, and to a speedy, impartial, and public trial.
Okay.
So that is strictly from the legal point of view, no? But if you remember in 2000, yun pong spray campaign that was launched in the city of Manila, the Court of Appeals shut it down, it declared the ordinance as unconstitutional for being violative of due process and yung equal protection of law clauses under the Constitution.
Okay.
And if you look at yung spray campaign, comparing it to what is being done now, it pales in comparison. Maybe this is an appropriate time for me or the legal community to call upon the present administration to raise the bar of this crusade against drug cases, to be within the limits of the law.
Okay.
Yun lang po ang hinihingi namin. This is, for me personally, my take on this is that this is an eye-opener actually. It's a wake-up call. And at the same time, it provides us with a golden opportunity to do something to be able to address this problem on drugs. This crusade does not belong to the government alone. We're all involved in this, and so we have to do our share to support this campaign.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Well, as the good lady said, it's not just, it's the entire government's role. It's the entire government's responsibility to do so. But again, I think the President has already made clear where he stands regarding this. He has clarified his actions. So, and like you said, it's also a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call that really there's something deeply wrong in the whole society.
Okay. Yeah. Secretary, siguro it will also do the Duterte administration good to do some research as to the number and names of judges who have dismissed wantonly cases against suspected drug personalities?
I think he has already said, meron po siyang he came up with an algorithm it was the time between the dismissal and I think it was mentioned during the SONA. He mentioned something like that. The delays and the actual dismissals.
Yung delays is something else, but the wanton speed of dismissing cases outright.
Well, no, that's noted. Yes.
Okay. Yes, please.
Yung hong nag-coin ng
Pakilala ka muna, kapatid.
Popo Villanueva
Ng?
DWAD.
Yan, okay, go.
Yung hong nag-coin ng briefest definition ng democracy, yung government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Totoo ba na nagdeklara ng martial law si Abraham Lincoln? Pagkatapos na magsisid yung 11 estado.
Teka muna,
bago niya idineklara ang
medyo malayo na yata, kapatid siya.
Sinuspindi niya ang writ of habeas corpus. Baka sabihin mo na naman, matanda na ako.
Hindi. Tatalong na lang natin kay Ambassador Goldberg.
Alam ka siya, Abe Lincoln is known worldwide as the emancipator.
Civil War ho yun Nagkaroon ng Civil War.
Pero yung
humiwala yung 11 estado doon sa 40.
Okay.
41.
Pero yung Civil War po, nakakagera maski saan that is a right of a country wants to have a war within its jurisdiction. But in the case of Lincoln, I said, ang tawag sa kanya, Abe Lincoln. Siya ay hero ng mga slaves.
Noong 1969, nung itatag ang New People's Army, nagdeklara ng Civil War ang CPP sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas.
That's right.
Di ba?
Yes.
Okay, salamat po.
Totoo yun. Pero natapos na po yung question na yun.
Okay. I'd like to ask our friends from the panel, ano po ang nakikita ninyong kinabukasan natin? Let's say, until December, Mr. Sergio Ortiz Luis. Kayo muna. Ano nakikita niyo magaganap hanggang Disyembre? And how do we deal with statements from international agencies? May counterpart din yung PCCI, di ba?
Well, yung mga lumalabas na data ngayon, yung sa second semester sa economy, gawa pa nung nakaraang administrasyon yun. No? So, siguro kung pwede natin sabihan na talagang can be attributed to the new administration, yung after the election time, yung third. We look at it positively. That I think it will be positive yung as a matter of fact, nung bagong mag-eleksyon, yung GDP natin, no, 6.9 daw, no? Sa totoo lang, nung eleksyon, nung time ni GMA was 7.9. Nung bumaba si GMA, yung eleksyon na yon, 7.9 yon. We thought it will continue, pero sa mata bumaba, yung 6.9. Ako tingin namin, dito sa administrasyon ni President Duterte, magse-7 na yan. No? At ang tingin namin, yung foreign direct investment na talagang tayo sabik na sabik. Lagi nating sinasabi ng mga nakakaraang taon na nasa radar screen tayo ng mga investors. Tapos tuwa tayo pagka nagkakaroon tayo ng credit upgrade. Para sa amin, walang meaning yon unless it is translated to foreign direct investment. Ang kalinya natin sa foreign direct investment sa ngayon yung Cambodia at Myanmar. Tayo nando sa linya na yon. In spite of yung yabang natin na tayo positive at tingin. At walang dumarating. Ang isang regret lang namin siguro doon sa area ng mining, at least yung responsible mining, medyo siguro hindi puputok yon. Pero in the area of I think ibang mga services like pati mga tourism, palagay namin aangat lahat yan.
Aangat yan.
Pati,
Okay. I would like to review, Alam po ninyo ang policy ngayon ng government is nung araw kasi nasa Constitution, a foreigner cannot buy real estate. Ngayon, sinabi, hindi naman madadala yan sa bayan nila eh. Ang kailangan natin, investors. We look at investors as parang enemy natin eh. Investors are our
But you can
friends.
only do that during a constitutional change, right?
Yes.
We have to amend the Constitution.
Yes, because you have to remove that
Provision.
that provision.
So how do we change the Constitution?
By amendment talaga.
How do we amend it? Constitutional Convention? CONAS? Or what?
Well, Congress can initiate
If it forms itself as a constituent assembly.
para
Okay.
less ang expense.
Alam mo, Melo, sa economic provision natin, sa restrictive economic provision natin for ownership, tayo na lang dito sa lugar ng mundo na ito ang meron, tsaka Indonesia. Pero Indonesia was able to go around their constitution in a way na hindi palagay ko hindi natin magagaya. Naglagay sila ng isang parang land authority. Pag ikaw ay gusto mong foreigner ka, gusto mong mag-invest, bumili, pupunta ka sa kanila. They will go to sila mag-arrange, bibili ka, pero lalabas parang nagre-renta ka. Pero pagka ikaw ay ayaw mo na, balik sa kanila, pag mayroong local na gusto bumili, you can sell it. Or pwede namang pagka foreigner ulit, daan uli ron para lalabas ulit renta. Pero dito, tayo hindi siguro lulusot dito. Somebody will question that in the Supreme Court. Pero doon wala na question eh. Kaya they don't have to change the Constitution.
Yeah, we can have another session for that. Yes, Madam. What do you see in the coming months?
Opo. Well, personally, I see our president as a very transparent president. Wala po siyang pretensions whatsoever. He says what is in his heart. And medyo may problema lang maybe in terms of his delivery of yung sa language. But on the whole, I am very positive that kasi in 1.5 months pa lang ang dami na nating pagbabagong nakita at least in terms of the drug campaign. And I've been talking around to ordinary people, taxi driver, mga maids, and gusto nila ang nangyayari. Kasi sa lugar nila, for example, bumagsak daw ang criminality, tumahimik yung kanilang lugar. So maybe in that respect, dapat siguro we have to give our support to our president in this campaign. Ang pakiusap lang po namin sa legal community, within the bounds of law. Opo.
Nung araw, nung bago itong campaign na to, kung lumabas yung Pokemon noon, wala siguro magpo-Pokemon sa kalye, aagawin yung cellphone mo eh. Ngayon, nakikita mo, kung saan nakakalagay ng Pokemon, it means na nabawasan yung snatcher ng cellphone.
Kaya pala nahuli kayo, naglaro muna kayo. Just kidding. Secretary.
Based on results, if you're asking me ano po mangyayari, I believe there'll be a drastic social transformation. Hindi ko po alam kung gano'ng kalalim, but definitely it will be on our way. When I say based on results, based on what happened in Davao City po. Kasi in Davao City, nung nagsimula ang presidente, marami rin maangal ba't ganito, ba't napaka-stricto, ba't ganyan-ganyan. But they were asking, how come he doesn't seem to have an economic plan? Pero ang kanya pong economic plan is when peace and order is established, everything else follows. Katulad po na sinabi ni Mr. Ortiz, ay mukhang very maganda, mukhang bright naman ang outlook. The economic outlook seems to be bright. Pero sa akin po, I feel exactly the same way na things will be much, much better based on historical results.
All right. I'd like to thank everyone who took time out to be with us today. It's indeed a pleasure. At alam po ninyo, bagay ganito ka top-heavy yung ating panelists, is always difficult to find another set of guests for next week of the same caliber. No? But anyway, we will have something interesting. Yes, Kai?
Ayun, magandang umaga po ulit sa inyong lahat at salamat po sa ating mga guests. Marami po akong natutunan sa inyo and thank you so much and especially tungkol sa martial law, no? Kasi hindi ko po naabutan yun katulad ni...
Excuse me. Anyway, we'd like to pasalamatan natin yung mga taga GMA 7, GNN, IBC 13, Sunshine TV 39 and UNTV Radio at yung mga kasama natin sa FOCAP at iba pang media entities who joined us today.
Thank you so much po.
Pahabol.
I volunteer myself to be invited at in all your...
Yun,
Salamat po.
salamat
Magandang
sa
umaga.
inyo
Maraming
lahat.
salamat.
Good morning.